Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. Well, hello there, my dear friends. Welcome back to the Scott Reed Project. And yes, it's a mad one. As you can see, we have here 24 crows. Now, I've done a crow video. I took the breasts out. I didn't know what to expect. Just turned out absolutely amazing. So it got me thinking, you know, a lot of crows are shot. So why don't we utilize them? So I'm thinking, take the breasts out, get them in a pie. It may work, it may not, but we'll give it a go. So, what we need to do first then is breast them all out. Okay then, first job of the day, we need to breast these crows out. I only want the breasts, I don't want nothing else. So, just pull a few feathers off. Bit of skin. Remember, people, these are a pest. They need to be shot. So if any of you are out there going, why have you killed all them? It's a job that needs doing. Normally would get, I suppose, chucked. There ain't no nice way to say it. You know, they're a pest. But like I said at the start, I did a video on these. And these little nuggets of meat were quite frankly one of the best things I had eaten. Pan fried, they were just like steak. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll fettle them a bit, work on them, and then see if we cannot transform these 24 blackbirds, I know it's just mental, into a fantastic pie. And maybe some time. Very simple. We'll wash them all off, give them a little light salt bath to pull out any blood, any nastiness. I imagine we will then marinate them in a little brine and get them in a pie. Simple. No waste. Quite possibly one of the maddest things I've done. But in my mind, I know this can work. I know you're all there going, you are mental. Maybe I am. Okay, so that's the hard part done. It's safe to say we're a million miles away from that. I mean, look at that. That might as well be pigeon breasts, you know. You'd never know. So there's a hell of a lot of meat there. 24 crows worth. 24 blackbirds, not real blackbirds. No blackbirds were harmed in the making of this video. So now we need to take this back to the kitchen and do it some justice. I can't wait. So I've got my crow fillets back home. And what I've done then is just made up a little cleansing brine, which is just some salt and some water, not too much salt. And these have been steeping, is a good word, for 24 hours, and as you can see by the colour of the water, it's drawn out most of the blood and any impurities. So all we need to do now is we're going to go over the meat, dry it off, and then cut it into chunks, and then begin the marinating process for my pie. It can't fail. Simple as then. We're going to take our crow breast. We're thinking pie meat, so I'll just trim off any other bits of funk. But I'm thinking if we nip the tip off and in two, that gives us ideal pie meat. I'm thinking two ways, just a classic pie with mushrooms or a beef bourguignon pie style. So crow fillets, red wine, little shallots, mushrooms, bacon. Sounds perfect. But yeah, not looking so crowy now, is it? Look at that meat. What a transformation. A whole bowl of cubed crow. I mean, just look at the meat. That is a perfect cube of meat. I mean, that could be venison, could be hare, could be mallard, could be pigeon. But it's crow. So, we're going to take our cubes, give it a little fettle, some red wine, some herbs, some veg, and then let it marinate again overnight before we start making the pie. Okay then, so my crow cubes have very luckily been marinated in a whole bottle of red wine for 24 hours. Just look at it now. So tender to touch now. So what I need to do then is I'm going to drain the wine, obviously keeping hold of it, and then we'll dry these pieces of crow off. Get in there. And then we'll start to lightly brown them in the pan. Now, two options here with crow. We can cook these real quickly. Just give them a bit of colour on the outside and then get them straight in the pie, or we could go down the stewing route. I'm not sure which I'm going to do yet. It'll be one of them. But first of all, I've got to dry them bits off. And we have some wine to create a gravy. Just going to strain that wine before we go any further. Every time I say that, I think of meatloaf. Beautiful. Give that a swill. Pass it through one more time. Sorted. Right then, just give these a good pat dry, and then we'll mix up a bit of flour with some salt and pepper, some lovely Coleman's mustard powder, and we start frying these off. Now, if you just switch this video on at this precise moment, you would no way tell that was crow. So no real measurements to this. Get some flour in. Get some of the finest in. Plenty of pepper. Plenty of salt. Give it a bit of how was your father. Don't be too fussy. And then, I mean, you could do this in the bag if you want. Just coating these lovely pieces. And if you need a little bit more, use a little bit more. That'll do. So get some oil in a pan. Now, like I said, you want to get this pretty hot. We don't want to be cooking this crow all the way through. So basically, Our meat's nice and seasoned. We'll get it in. Maybe give it 30 seconds aside. So we want to make sure that's pretty smoking. Turn that fan on, it's noisy. So, good way of telling what meat you did is you start at the top of the pan, cooker needs balancing up, and go round in a clock fashion, and you'll find by the time you get to the end you can flip them over from 12 o'clock all the way around, or whatever you're doing, and they'll all be pretty much cooked identically. And then you can pretty much, like I said, go round, turn them over one at a time with like the biggest tongs in the world, and they'll all be completely brown. Hey? It's almost professional. Almost. Look at that. I love this old serving ware. So, get it out, get it in there, and we'll repeat with the next batch. So if you notice then, I haven't overcrowded the pan. Just give it a bit of space in between. And then you don't take the heat out of the pan. But yeah. So cool. And if you use the handle of your frying pan as the starting position, you will always know where you are. Sometimes I reckon it's better to just use your hand. Okay then, time to build this pie, but just have a look at that. Does that look like crow to you? Hey, just looks like beautiful chunks of venison or beef. So I've got all my crow breasts in there. I've got some lovely bacon lardons, some shallots. Now these shallots, I'll be honest with you, are absolutely massive. So I might cut them in half. So we're going to put some of them in, and then these button mushrooms again I think might slice or half them. So the first thing we need to do then is cook these components off, and then we can get it all in a pot and give it some love, baby, and build it. So, where are we? Afterburners on. Get some oil in the old pan. I always use cold pressed rapeseed oil. It's actually healthier than olive oil. So first off, get the bacon lardons in. Get them nice and crispy. I'm going to get them in as well at the same time. The shallots. So these, absolutely ginormous. So I've had to quarter them. All I wanted really was like little onions. Should have bought some silver skin pickled onions and then boiled them for a bit. But hey ho. Bit of shroom action. I'm not going to add any salt to this because obviously we got the bacon, but I'm just going to add a bit of pepper. Right, I'm happy with that. So, get them in there to start with. Just turn that off, and I didn't mean to. So, there's not a lot of funk on the bottom of there, but I am going to use a bit of this red wine that it was marinated in, just to lift any bits that are off. Just give it a little bubble up, get rid of the alcohol. But my crow can go in. I think that'll do. Let's get that in there. Right, let's turn that down. Let's transfer that to that, and then get this filled up with some stock till it's just covering. Not a bad guess, was it? Maybe need a little bit more. Now all that lovely seasoned flour will fall off the crow breasts. It'll go into the sauce, enrich it, it will thicken it. So we'll get some of this in. I've got some fresh thyme and just a little bit of fresh rosemary from my garden. And I think I'm going to put some of the finest sauce known to man, Liam Perrins. Put a couple of splashes in there. A little bit of tomato puree. I'm riffing this here, but you can't tell. And then just gently bring it up to the boil. So if we let it cook out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then we're guaranteed a good pie. Okay then, this has been cooking for 3 hours and my crow pie mix is done. Now, I checked it after 2 hours. I wanted it to be able to crumble when I put it in my fingers. And this is really hot. But basically that, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is going to get it all out and then just fettle this gravy a little, thicken it up. I've made the pastry from scratch. I didn't cheat, I didn't buy it. I just made a simple short crust pastry. Right, get all that out. And that's it. Now I'm going to just pass that through a sieve and get it back on and give it a bit of love. So all I've done then is pass that through a sieve 4 times. It got rid of any excess flour, any crap that would make it stodgy, so that's looking good. Now I'm going to add the best ingredient ever, some gravy granules. This will thicken it, give it a beefy hit. Then I'm going to crank in some fresh pepper. So as that stands, that reminds me of rabbit. So I'm just going to get my pie mix in very gently. Let it get to know each other. Let it cool. And finally, get it in the pie. Okay, the moment of truth. I've made up a basic short crust pastry, lined my tin. There's my mixture. Before we go any further, gotta have a blackbird to go in the center. Hey, it's all thought out, innit? And then we'll get this crazy filling in. Is this the maddest thing I've ever done? I think it could be. We're going to go with that. Mushrooms, crow, onions, bacon lardons, bit of egg wash all around the edge. Just nuts. And then I prepared earlier a lid. So, got to get it over the old Blackbird. Give it a fettle. Let's get this over him. Oh, this is nuts. Okay, so we're just going to give this a press to start with. Oh, bit of leakage. Just trim off any excess before we tidy it up. Imagine dropping it now after all that work. This be crazy. Right, I'm going to go for the fork method. Make sure it's nicely crimped down. Get rid of all that crap. Okay, so 4 and 20 blackbirds, crows. So let's put some of that all over. Just a little egg wash. So we got a fork. Get on there. That. Four. And 20. Yeah, baby. And then my artistic skills don't stop there. Where are we going to put this bad boy? Should we put him there? Move that along. I've got to get out more. All that remains then, to make that sure that's stuck down, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Get it in the oven, gas mark 6, for 30 minutes. Give it some decoration, shall we, without wrecking it. Called over egging the pudding. That'll do. So there it is, the finished pie. 4 and 20 blackbirds, crows, baked in a pie. And I think it looks pretty cool. Talking of cool, we'll let it cool down and we'll open it up. Okay, we can't put this off any longer. Time to break in to the crow pie. Let's just do it. See if we can get old Blackbird out without making too much mess. Come on, you beauty. He's done his job. Okay. Waiting with bated breath. Actually, let's put that there a minute. because it might go all over the shop. Have I got right underneath there? That's the question. Yes. So far, so good. Only uncouth people have crow pie without some lovely gravy. Right. Bit of crow to start with. Well, it's not the worst thing I've tried. Just wash my mouth out with a bit of pastry, which I made. Let's have a go on this. Let's try another bit. Well, my dear friends, I can honestly say it's not horrible. I've eaten worse, but yeah, after all that, I think it's safe to say that your crow fillets are better pan fried. But if you don't try it, you don't know. You know, it just tastes beefy, venison-y, but quite gamey. I know that sounds mad, and I'm not a fan of real strong game, and that's what it reminds me of. So, yeah. We built one, we ate one. I don't think we'll bother again. We'll just pan fry them, because they're like steak that way. So, to sum this up then, we took our crows, breasted it out, brined them, cooked them, made a pie, and tried it. And that's all she wrote, baby. That's all I can say. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen here on the SRP, please click subscribe when my face comes up down here. Also check me out on my social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the Scott Reed Project. And please do check out my Patreon page if you want to share the love and help the channel along. So yeah, that was an experience. Not a bad one, but I wouldn't do it again. Thanks for watching, my friends. Take care. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. They are safe. Take care.